Hi all, right, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov Soviet Soul, take 2 part 33. Right, I'm just uploading 32 just now and I have just come straight back. Well, uploading, putting it together first. So it'll be an hour or so probably. Okay, there's my hand, so wondering what to do next. Wonder if we actually are going to play that 40th Army card. I don't think so. Well, what's happened down here with that unit moving down does kind of make me want to have a go with Popov now. It's only wondering about the two stacks now. Then, 6, 9, 11. I think we've split things up, haven't we? See, if these were stacked together, that would have been great. So that's 11, and I would have 5. That would be 16. That's just 5 to 1. 11. That's 17, just short of 6 to 1. And that's only 4, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, there's where the stacking just falls apart. But I didn't. These two units made an attack. I don't want to be attacking from one hex, so you've got that dilemma. Whereas I could have had them stacked together and now been able to move them against that unit for, what did I say? 11, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that'd be 21 against 3. So we could actually have had 71 odds with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chip pools. And we've been able to use the units card rather than this. I want to actually use the replacement point on that. I was looking though, I thought I might have been getting one of the mech units here, because we've got, this guy's reduced, this armour guy underneath's reduced. And we've also got another one down there reduced, and another one. So we've got 4 single step mech units. However, in here we've got a single step infantry, so so we have to repair that first. And yeah, like I've said, it feels like a hard thing to do is to use a card like that just to do that, but we are going to start being defensive, so this is the time we should use it. And you know what, funnily enough, I've been reading through the German solo rules, and the Soviets do not consider replacement points until turn 5. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you should be thinking about. I don't think they actually will carry out a replacement point until from turn 5 onwards. They'll look at it, they'll consider it. It must be on the cards. It will say from turn 5 replace a point if you've got it. So that kind of tells you that we're nearing the end of turn 4 here and considering it. So there is that. So if you can't use the pop-off supplemental card, and if you don't want to use that anyway, and you can't really benefit from that, it means it's going to be the Southwest Front card that you're going to use. Which means I'm not going to get the 6th Army moving if I do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering maybe I should take the chance and activate these 2 stacks and go in with 17 against 3. I would seriously consider it if it was 18 against 3. Just that one extra, knocking up to 6 to 1 makes so much of a difference. But the thing is, we would be flanked. Well, flank wouldn't count, he's in a town. We would have the units surrounded with no friendly unit adjacent, so that reduces a hit that we need to deal. He is in a town, so it kind of like balances that out. So it would be D4 to eliminate. Again, that's not the main purpose. Main purpose is to get that town, take control of that, and then I probably will start moving some stuff along to have a go at this guy. Yeah, and I think this is the area we should just, whether we can consider stretching up to this. Remember, we've got to have a unit in it, and it's got to be able to trade supplies. So, I'm sure these Germans are going to have something to say about all that. So, and the multitudes that are going to come in next turn as well. There's actually 3 40 core units, look like they're armoured. Well, certainly the one on the top's armoured. And another 3 48 core units from 4th Panzer Army. Okay, Grant, what's it to be then? What's it to be? So it would be 5-1 odds with 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be 6 chip pools. But we would have him surrounded. But he's in a town. But he's only infantry. Well, you need to know for sure with that Southwest Front card. That then means it's a definite 6 army card, I think. Well, why don't we see? Because we can't. I can't move the 6 army. Well, I'm not willing to move this unit out of here, definitely, until we get a unit in here. And yes, I've talked about the 69th Army. I'd like that to be their job, but they're miles away. We don't have any cards. So at the moment, temporarily, we're going to have to put, and I think it's going to be this guy, because it's quite a distance away, that, and it needs to go up round the road. I don't think, infantry's not going to make it, is it? No. This guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 though into there. So why don't we actually play that 40th Army card I've been talking about playing all game, and maybe tidy things up there, and just allow myself that little bit more time to think about I've no other cards to draw, so it's not as if I'm going to see another card. However, we could see something from the Germans, but as for this, as we've seen, because he's in a VP hex and we're adjacent to him, and he's alone in a VP hex, he's not going to move out of that. So I don't think we need to fear that. I think also, other thing I was thinking, we've not seen anything from the 3rd Corps yet, and we're kind of concerned about what they're going to do. Big 3 stack here, and a 2 stack here, and another unit there. That if we do move these pop-off units down to here, I know this is a stack of 3, 7, 8 strength, so I don't think they'll be wanting to have a go at that. But I'm not sure what they're going to do, so I think this could wait, is what I'm saying, and then it'll let me give me more time to make my mind up, I suppose. Okay, right, I'll go and just think about it briefly, and then we'll be back to do it. Okay, at long last, 40th Army. Yeah, I'm going to play this and activate all units in the 40th Army. And yeah, it's just going to be a bit of tidying up. Nothing really exciting, to be honest. Move the camera a little bit, getting at an angle of it. So I think, like I said, I definitely want something here which is going to free up these guys. Now, whether I'm going to use that card to move them this turn or not, I don't know. But so yeah, and I'm better if we did want to strategically move. Yeah, so we move this first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So, and then, is this the only guy that can get to Belgrade? No, hang on, we could strategically move, can't we? No, we cannot. He's on that hex line there. So that means he's in that hex. So that would be west of that hex. So I cannot. So these guys can't reach there. So it has to be this guy. So that's fine. That's fine. So I'll move this guy. Oh, wait a minute. As soon as I've moved one of them in, I can then strategically move the rest. Boom, boom. I don't think I want anything else in there though, because again, I'm going to, this is just temporarily to free up the 3rd tank unit to go away, so yeah, I'm going to use the 69th Army for that. So what are we going to do with these other guys then? I want temporary protection on these two. Yeah, I suppose I've not really got anything brilliant to do with the rest, have I? I'm not even sure I need to leave anything in here, because these guys are going to come along. It's not that there's a threat on that. I think I'd want something in here, fair enough. But remember that when we do get the 69th across, I'm then wanting to probably head... Oops. I mean, things might have changed by then, but then I was thinking I might head up to here with them. It's going to be either that or they're going to stay around the 3rd tank. So that could depend on how things move here. So maybe we should put some stuff in Kharkov then. Well, you know what? That's 7. No, hang on, Grant. You don't want to. I don't want to put 6 steps on top of that 1 step, and then I can't replace it. So it's a bit annoying. Kind of want to keep that stacked together. Okay, well we'll separate these guys then. So we'll move this guy. No, it'll be crossing the river. So that is 2. Oh right, I can't do that. Oh, don't tell me. Is that a clear X? Oh, we can't reach. Oh no. That's harsh. Right, well these guys can reach. He's a 3-stepper though. Kind of wanted to keep them together. Well, actually I can put, fair enough. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that guy into Kharkov. Yeah, you can't keep a 3-stack. Suppose. So 1, 2, and then 3 into there. 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. So that's a full stack in there. I got this on camera, yeah. And yeah, I don't feel like I have to leave in here. So what are we going to do with that guy then? Well, he can't reach Kharkov. Oh, actually he can he? He can, because he can strategically move. Yeah, he can. I'd like to stack him with that guy, to be honest. And I can, because this guy's a 1-step. But you can see what I was meaning was, if we stack 6 steps in there, and then the first thing we wanted to do was maybe replace a point, we can't do it, because it would then increase the hex to 7 steps, and that. So we can't do that. It actually says, and you can't replace a point if it's got 6 steps in it, in the hex. I mean, would I do that? Well, you know, you might. It might be that the cards that I draw at the start of the next turn want me to replace a point in the 3rd tank, and that's the exact guy. That's the only guy that's. I wonder if this wasn't allowed. If I'd done that, right, would I be allowed to replace another unit like that guy instead? I think something else, something like this came up within Ardennes as well, something along the lines. So there's another question for you, if any of you are out there wanting to answer questions. If I move just going to mark that hex because I might not be doing this. If I move this guy strategically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there, which I can, yes. And then let's just say next turn or whenever we've got a third tank replacement point card, and we want to replace a point on a unit. Well, this wouldn't be eligible because it's in a stack of 6 steps. So could I still play the card to replace a point on another unit? Or let's just say this unit. Let's just say there's no other infantry that are reduced, right? This is only infantry that are reduced. This should be the one that you've got to do first. I can't do it because the hex is overstacked. Can I then do it on this guy because of that? Or am I not allowed to do it at all? There you go. There's a question for the day. I don't think I'm going to take the chance with that. I get the feeling that I wouldn't be allowed to do the replacement point action. But I could see that going. I could see that going a different way, maybe. So, I'll just leave it at the side. Again, it's this whole thing about not being stacked. Or do we just take the chance and stack them? And if we do draw the third tank, we might have to just hold on to it until we get the 40th Army again. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not just do that? Right, so strategic move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. So we do have a stack of 6. And maybe I get an answer for your question, sorry. It tells me, yeah, you can actually be cheeky and game that a little bit, Grant, and I don't think so. I have a feeling I'm not going to get that response. Okay, so actually, in actual fact, I'm going to put this guy underneath. That's us done. Put him on top because he's going to be doing something next. Well, before the 40th anyway. Well, maybe not. We might choose not to do all that shenanigans. Yeah, and then this guy, yeah, I'll put him underneath as well. So that's just a wee 2 strength infantry in Belgorod. But what are you doing, Grant? But well, we've seen how sorry, that's just off camera. That was just putting that guy down below. Well, we've seen how that Soviet's exposed card worked. Oh, by the way, I shuffled up the action discards because we had run out, and I know it says you do that right away. Not that it's really relevant, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So what was it? It needed to be less than 2, didn't it? Soviet's exposed. But when I looked at the situational strength checks, I was quite surprised to see that it didn't matter if he was in a city, it didn't matter if he was in a town. Well, here I'm actually looking at it. So it's +1 for an IP, +1 if it's adjacent to a supplied Soviet unit, so that's one to keep in mind. +1 if the German units are across Donetsk River hex side, so that's unlikely. Oh no, this is the Donetsk one, isn't it? Yeah. So in actual fact, if he was coming across from that side, then that would be a +1. But and then a -1 if it's in an unsupported hex, -1 if the units are dispersed, -1 or 2 if units out of supply isolated, and then German command value of 4 or 5. That's a -1. So that could be quite scary. If he's played a 4 or 5 command card, and we draw Soviets exposed, and I've got this unit in this city on his own, then that becomes a 1. So he would actually take that exposure. And what is it? Is it reduced? Did I read what it done? I'm sure it's remove a step, isn't it? Okay. Right, okay, well, there's nothing really, I mean, yeah, I suppose This probably is proximate, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean that second SS unit is proximate. However, he's still bound by the restriction and not moving out that VP hex. On saying that, we're about to move on to turn 5. Well, once we've finished this hand of cards, and the activations change, the action steps change up again, so that might be a different action altogether. Right, okay, still managed to put 20 minutes into that, just moving a couple of units about. What do you know? Made a mess here. Moved all the... Right, so that was, we can do, that's not the 69th now, that was the 40th Army that we've activated. So, yeah. Okay, and that's that card done. So we only have 4 cards left, and there's a quick glance at them again. So quite a good hand of cards, and I'm quite keen on doing something with the first cards as well. I think what needs to happen is I was looking again a bit. I think I need to really get a first guards army unit in here. I'm going to have to move one of the units west so that I can strategically move one of the other units. But I think it might be worthwhile because I don't want to leave this empty with this big stack staring it down. I mean, in actual fact, although this is a city, this one's a wee bit closer to the action, and this one might want the 2 units instead of maybe that. Anyway, we will see. Right, well, let's get a German impulse, shall we? Right, I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll just pause just now, so I'll be back shortly. Right, okay, next German impulse, let's go. Okay, Corps Rouse, Kampf Group is not 1 to 3. Deploy all Corps Rouse reserves, there is none. Activate the Rouse unit with the most Rouse units, it's 2x radius, and all those units, and all units stat with those units. Okay. Then if not, the event's not going to kick in, we're not on turn 5. So if we can't get an activation here, we might be drawing on our card because, well, we'll see. We've got 1 Corps Rouse unit there, and then we've just eliminated one that was here. We got rid of that guy eventually. So the other 2 are here. This guy here was a 1-step, and that guy with the IP. So that's the 3 units we've got. So none of the units are going to activate anything else. Activate the Rouse unit with the most Rouse units in its 2 hex radius. That's, if you pick any one of them, it's just going to be the unit itself. And all those units, and all units stack with those units. Well, there's nothing stacked with any of them either. So how is it we... Rule 8, I think, that's ringing bells for me. How do we get a preference out of the 3? So that's a Corps Kampf Group card. Create the unit listed Corps, the most units in the same Corps within 2 hexes, activate all those units, even if only 1, which is what we're going to have. All units stat with those units, regardless of Corps. Well, none of them are statting anything. If units are tied for having the most Corps units, now 2x radius, select the easternmost unit, then the southernmost. Well, it's going to be this guy down here. He's easternmost, the other 2 are far more to the west. So, get the feeling... Well, hang on though. No, we're not proximate to that coming in this way. I'm just wondering, is this a... Yeah, that is a mech unit. But getting across 1, 2... is it 2 for him to cross the river? It is, isn't it? No, is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's not very good. No, I don't think we're proximate to that. I'm thinking building an IP. I'm just jumping straight to there because he might do something else. Well, and we will draw 2 action cards probably. So, well, we will. So we're going to activate that unit. He doesn't activate anybody else. Right, okay. He's not behind Soviet lines. Move to a VP hex. No. If in danger, surround. No. Like I say, these guys, the best this guy can get to, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, actually, that's better, I think. Because that's 1 crossing the minor river, 2 into broken is 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the best that guy can get. Well, in all honesty, the infantry will be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4 as well, won't it? It's pretty much the same. Yeah, and then we can only get something in here. We're not exerting a zone of control in this hex anyway. Let alone probably this one, but this one. So he's not in dangerous surround. No. So we'll draw 2 action cards. No, okay. Yeah, so yeah, this is the bit where you could draw 2 action cards and probably still be drawing another card. I was just thinking to that last time we drew an action card and put that garrison out. We did do something, didn't we? Because it can sometimes throw you a bit thinking that if you do something on an action card that counts. You still need to actually activate one of the active unit, or like do an action with one of the active units. Yeah, we did. We moved. Yeah, it was 40 core. We moved units about, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. Right. 2 action cards. Looking for the lowest one. We've got 5 and 13. So 5 is forward attack. So unlikely. 6 units of strength of active unit stack, which is on his own, so it's 3 probably, is greater than or equal to 3 times proximate Soviet unit stack. No. Even coming down, this guy, oops, sorry, a little bit. This guy is not just a 2, he's 4 strength in there. But even then, I mean, I need 3 times. So, yeah, we're just going to put that away. There's no point spending too much time, and we're probably putting this one away as well, which is attack, 6 units strength of active unit stack, greater than or equal to 2 times proximate Soviet unit stack. So, again, no. It's got 3 strength, so it needs to be. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Yeah, I mean, if it was these 3rd Corps units and this big stack of 3rd Corps units, that something might happen. And we've not seen any of their cards come up yet, so I fear it's going to happen. So that was draw 2 action cards, and we've checked the other one. So step 6 is move to a hex that removes dangerous round from or enables a supply trace to another German occupied hex. Don't think so. None of the units round about that guy are in danger of surround. Supply traces, yeah, no problem there. No, not seeing it. 7, if in non-VP hex, yes, and Soviet unit proximate to empty or garrison German VP hex. Empty or garrison German VP hex, no. Then move to the hex to try and stop the proximity, no. Place an IP on the unit if eligible in Soviet unit proximate. No. Yeah, we just can't get adjacent to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, that's one shot. Where's this? Yeah. I was going to say, where's the unit that moves 7, but he's away up in the city, away up the top there? Nah. Damn. Okay. So we can't place an IP. Remove disperse marker from the unit. There's no disperse marker, so we've done nothing. So we need to draw another card. Well, there's no other action on the card. This is from turn 5 and 6. So we can't carry any action on the card, so we need to discard this card and draw another one. Okay, still not third core, which I'm fearing. Well, I'd like to see what happens, right enough, but maybe not looking forward to it. Right, deploy all core reserves from 48th core, there's nothing. Activate all units in 48th core. Okay. Right, I can see an IP at least getting put anyway. So that'll be that. Right, I'll go up to where the action is. Okay, so I think it's just the 3 units there. I've left that well exposed so we could see it this time. Right, so he's in a city. This guy's not. This is the guy I looked at initially. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are proximate to him with a Soviet unit. So if nothing else, an IP will be put on him. Okay. So we're going to activate the 3. It's definitely just the 3, isn't it? I can't see anything else. No. No, because I think we took one of them out again, didn't we? Okay, here we go again. Not behind Soviet lines, so we'll move to VP Hex. No, this is the only possible VP Hex, and it is it's a German VP Hex. We would need to be proximate after it moved to that, so no, so nothing doing there. If in dangerous surround, well, these 2 guys definitely are not, and I don't think this guy is. This is all infantry. It's all infantry, isn't it? This is our mech units back here. So 1, 2, yeah, we're not getting 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not getting anywhere up near round the back. So right, none of the units are in dangerous surround. So we're going to draw a couple of action cards again. 1, 2. Right, this time we have, what's it, 10 and 20. So 10 is strong attack. Somewhere to put it. Well, I suppose I can put it in there. It's just, well, I suppose we're going to have to check. Right, strong attack. We'll zoom in on that a bit. Things kind of far away from me here. So yeah, it's looking for 4 times. So situational strength of active unit stack and other active units. Okay, so here is one that's trying at least. Well, when I say that, the first one we've seen that might look possible. Well, it's not, but you know what I mean. It means we're looking at this unit, but also this unit and the unit is stacked with. So it says situational strength of active unit stack and other active units. Well, hang on, that's not the case then, no. Because we are looking at this in ascending order. So we're actually looking at this guy first. So he's the unit stack, right? And the other active units are this guy, but not including the stacked unit, I don't believe. And then this guy. Is that right? I knew I was going to have to start getting into looking at a bit into this, but give me a sec. Yeah, so worth a wee read just to, I mean, I don't think anything's happening here. I think they are still too far away from the action, but just the fact that that unit's stacked with another unit from a different corps. So 10.4 on page 22 is checking an action card. When called for by an action step, draw a German action card. Most action cards describe a situation, which is what we're reading just now, which must apply in order to conduct the described action. Some action cards list only an action performed by placing garrison markers, right? So how to check? Check to see if the action card situation applies. If the situation involves active units, check active German units individually in the order indicated on the action card to determine if the listed situation applies to the unit. So, and it's got the upward triangle, which tells us we're checking an ascending order. So between 7, 8 and 12 we're checking this unit, and as we read on here, the unit being checked is referred to as the lead unit. So this is the lead unit. Do not check units that have already conducted an action in the current activation. So, and then it's got the 3 bullets here. If the card's subject is a unit, check to see if the situation applies to the lead unit by itself, right? But the situation is active unit stack, right? So, which is the next bullet, which says if the card's subject is a unit stack, check to see if the situation applies to the lead unit together with all other units in its hex, including active units and non-active units. It does not include units that have already performed an action in the current activation. And this is one that I think when I first read it, I got a little bit thrown by and started worrying and wondering if I was getting that right and if it did actually activate units, because this unit's from another corps. I think some of the examples straightened me towards that. I'm trying to think if this is the same as Ardennes, and I think it is. Just this was a bit that I struggled with. Unit stack and other active units. The 3 sort of statements. Because the third bullet is, no, should I read that? Well, actually, no, that's what we're looking at, isn't it? It is, yeah, sorry, my bad. So it's the third bullet. And the third bullet is, if the subject is a unit stack and other active units, which is what we're doing, check to see if the situation applies to a group of units together consisting of the lead unit, active and non-active units with which the lead unit is stacked, plus all other active units proximate to the target listed in the situation. This does not include units not in active formation. Yeah, see, it says this does not include units not in the active formation unless stacked with the lead unit, and units that have already performed an action in the current activation. Yeah, it's really clear that's good. I feel like I don't know, I feel like I struggled with this, before, but that feels quite clear, he says confidently. So what that means is this is a lead unit, so we're looking at this and any unit stacked with it, and then we're also looking at other active units. So we're looking at him, but we're not considering the unit underneath because he's not the lead unit, and we're looking at him. Now, if this had been the lead unit, then we would look at this, the unit underneath, this guy and this guy. So you know what I'm saying there, I think. So we're looking at the 3 units together. Now they add up to a strength of 8, right? So, and then what we're looking at, that 8 strength, is that 8 strength greater than or equal to 4 times approximate Soviet unit stack, right? So just take the cards out of the way, and we can see it's not. Just to give you something. Where have I got something? Here we go. There we go. Let's just say that guy was there. He's in Belgorod. Let's say this guy was here, and then we've got 8 strength, and we've got 8 strength proximate to that too. So we've got 4 times that. Now, you would need to check situational adjustments, which is on, if I had an IP, it'd be a +1, that would take it to a 3, and yada yada yada. The command card value of the card, that's a new one. Pretty sure that's a new one anyway. So that's one to watch. This is a command card at 3, but if it's got a command card of 4 or 5, it gives a -1 to the situational strength of the Soviet defender. taking it down to 1. But I was just putting that guy there to say that they do have 8 against 2, so this would, if this situation was as is, then this would actually apply, and then you would need to carry on with the action. So the action is all active units proximate to the qualifying target move adjacent to the target and attack, and then there's some preferences and whatever. And then we get into how German units move adjacent to Soviet units. They want to get them flanked, they want to do this, that and the next thing. There's a section on that somewhere, but no, in fact, I'm looking at it, I've got the book open to 10.54, movement adjacent to a Soviet unit. And then it says, when an action calls for German units to move adjacent to a Soviet unit, move them one at a time, first the lead unit, then ascending numerical order, and then it tells you how the best way to go round about it. And it's kind of like what you would want to do yourself. You know, you'd want to get the guy flanked. You wouldn't want to be attacking over the big river that's going to give you reductions and things like that. That doesn't quite come into this game as much as what previous. But anyway, it's all behind. Alright, sorry. Well, there was no real point in me trying to grab for the pause button there. So sorry to your ears. You know, you wouldn't want to just all join up and attack from the one hex, you know, things like that, like you would do yourself, you know. Okay, so that's not the case. That guy's not there, so they won't be considering that. But it was just to get in my own head as well about the unit stack, active units and all that. So they don't have anywhere they don't have anything that's proximate. You know, this is the nearest thing to them. It's got a strength of 3, 4, 5, 6. He can't reach, you know, they can't all reach that. And they've only got 8 against 3, so they don't have 4 times the strength required, right? So that's not going to happen. So we move on to the next card. So strengthen again. Right, active unit in non-VP hex and proximate to VP hex occupied by at least 1 German step. Right, this is the nearest VP hex, and that's occupied by 2 steps. I want to say 3 steps even. In fact, is that a 3-step unit? It might be 4 steps. Anyway, it's not 1 step. And this is another VP hex. This is occupied by 3 steps. So none of the units are going to try and come and strengthen anything else. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm reading that wrong, am I? Yeah, sorry, let's do that again. Active unit non-VP hex, right, and we're looking at in descending order. So actually would consider him as, he's the highest number, but he's in a VP hex, so the next highest number is him. So he is proximate to this city. There is, and it is proximate to a VP hex occupied by at least 1 German step. So I was talking all wrong there. So however, this is, well, let's see what that is. It is 3 steps. So that's 3 steps, and this is 1 step, right? So this is occupied by 4 steps, and the VP value of the hex is only 2. So it says at least 1 German step, but not by more steps than the hex's VP value. So that's 4. That is more than the hex's VP value. So we're not going to try and move to that. This one is a 3, and it's more than its 1 VP value. I was talking wrongly there, but in my head I was thinking about it in that way, but I was not reading it right. Okay, so yeah, and then you look at the other guys, and it's the same. There's nowhere they could go to strengthen. Okay, so that's that. Okay, Grant. Whew. Need a drink, I think. Need a drink. Okay, let's finish this before you have a drink. What are we on? 3? No, we're drawing action cards, right. So step 6 is move to a hex that removes dangerous surround from or enables supply trace from another German occupied hex. Well, we know none of them are in dangerous surround. This is going in descending order. And you know what? None of these guys are in dangerous round, are they? No. No. There's nothing. There's not a gap through here. I mean, this is the only one that you could get around the back where there is a kind of gap. Well, it's not really a gap, but I could get around the back of it. But we've already looked at this. We can't. It's not in dangerous round. We already looked. So, if we had a mech unit here, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Right. I'm pretty sure I always stack them with the mech units on the top. So yeah, these are all infantry. So no. The mech units are back here, and they're just too far away. So that's that. Right. So there's none of that. I mean, this guy is in dangerous round, I would guess. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this guy getting to here is not going to stop that guy from being in dangerous round. So let's just stop there. So step 7 is, if in non-VP hex and Soviet unit proximate to enter garrison German VP hex. No, there's no enter garrison German VP hex that one of these units could move to that I'm proximate to. And no. So step 8 is place an IP on unit if eligible on Soviet unit proximate, and then remove disperse markers. Right. So we do have, this would be in this descending order. Well, which looks at number 12, but he's in a city. It would then look at number 8. We are proximate to him, so he will indeed build an IP. And I don't think we're not proximate to him. No, can't do that. No. Actually, not far away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, one short. But no, so we're not proximate to him, so he doesn't get an IP. And that's it. So that was a nice, simple impulse. Oh no, we had to draw 2 cards there, didn't we? So, but yeah, it didn't turn out too complicated. As assuming we got it all right, of course. Okay, that's another short episode. That's 2 I put in the day, and you see, there'll be something wrong with them. I'll be pulling my hair out the night. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Still not seeing third core card, so you feel like it's going to come, and we do have 4 cards left, and none of them are cards that I'm going to play multiples of in the one impulse. I wouldn't have thought. You know, I want to repair that unit. I want to activate. Well, actually, yeah, we don't know what we're doing, do we? Yeah, we're sort of in limbo a bit. Yeah, okay. Right, well, I'll put this bit together and start uploading it, and then we'll get back to the next Soviet impulse shortly, guys. Okay, cheers.